What's up, everybody? Check, check, 1, 2, check. So what's up? What's up? So before we get into this, there's a couple things on the things that we'll address very quickly. I'm gonna do a little bit of a lesson on here, which is gonna be really good. So one is, just so everybody knows, there's a on the video with the Holy Grail stuff with the Burst Believer, the results. There's a very big collector on there commenting. So just so you know, 45 years been collecting guitars. He's a very big collector. He did not dispute that this wasn't a 59, but he did point out a couple things, and things that I probably should have told you guys. So here's the back of my headstock again. Those are Gibson tuners. They're 1959 Gibson tuners, but if you can look above them, you'll see holes beneath, below. See the holes? So the original tuners are Clewiston tuners, but these are age-appropriate tuners. But so I did a little more digging, because everything on my 59 was silver, chrome, nickel. I should say silver, nickel. So it's all nickel. I wanted all gold hardware, so I had changed everything over, and I wanted something age appropriate that was gold to match everything. I have all the original pieces, so I did tell you guys that it was silver. So these are made. So what happened is Gibson tuners are actually made by Shaler. Some of them had Shaler and some of them had nothing on there. So the tuners are authentic and age appropriate. That was not on my guitar. But so I dug a little deeper to give you guys a history of it. So what happened at the end at 5960, when they started not wanting to produce these guitars anymore, they had leftover stuff. So they just put on whatever parts they had so that they didn't hold up production and they could just get them out the door, because the plan was not to make them no more. Okay, and like on my serial numbers, the 9 and the 1st and the 3rd are in bold. But so that's the first thing. Second, my pickups had silver covers on there, and a while ago. So let me show you what they kind of look like. Here's the pole pieces. You can see they get rusted because the nickel on them and the screws and everything on the pole pieces, they are nickel, but they're uncoated screws and pole pieces, so they rust. And when you have them trapped under a pickup cover, it creates humidity under there, hence why they rust. Now, this isn't my pickup, but that's what mine kind of looked like originally, but in better condition, but with the rust. And what happened is, I wanted to look like the Jimmy Page guitar because that's what I wanted. And now this is back, you have to remember, in the 80s. And so I wanted all gold hardware, but I also wanted to have that Jimmy Page look. But I took the covers off. There's black cook under it. But my eventual goal with that guitar was to actually play it live when I got signed. And I ended up with an endorsement deal, and that guitar sat around. But what happened was, because it wasn't potted, the pickups, it was very noisy on stage. So they took it apart. All the wiring and the wrappings and everything is all the same. The plastic cover part, I think they call that the bobbin. I don't remember. Or something like that. They took that off and all the rusted pole pieces and replaced it with newer pole pieces that are actually coated. And that was to help me live, which I never ended up getting around to doing. Whoops. I didn't get to play that guitar live. I was going to. That was my goal. Play that guitar live. Never happened. Now this guitar would have beat them all out. This is my favorite, but it's not a fair shootout. And that is a Pearly Gates in there. Seymour Duncan Pearly Gates. But none of this is Gibson. It's Gibson, but it's not stock. Now they also had vintage standard and custom. So there were two different classes of Gibson Les Pauls back then as well. But somebody else said that Jimmy Page didn't buy his 59. I know that. Joe Walsh gave it to him. But Joe Walsh gave it to him because he hated it. So whoever commented that, very good, but you left out a lot of details. He had the neck redone or something, and he also hated the 59. He hated it. So hence he gave it to Page as a gift. You know, just give it. He gave it away because he hated it, not because he loved it and wanted someone else to have it. He gave it away because he hated it. Was that good to tell you? Page loved it. So there you got the tuners. They're age appropriate. Oh, but let me show you guys something. Because you guys, a lot of people don't understand these old things. So I was looking up tuners on eBay just so I could get a picture. You can go get 1959 patent pending Grover tuners, nickel, all nickel. You can see it, Gibson. Now, are they Les Pauls? I don't know. But again, who knows what Les Paul was doing back there and how many guitars were actually put on there. Now, somebody else made a comment on why they are so expensive because of the rarity. That's kind of false. That's only part got to do with it because you can have something rare that nobody wants. So it's all about supply and demand. Hence my guitar right here, 1 to 30, handcrafted in the United States with all gold hardware. That's not worth even close. It's rare. It's 1 in 30. So there you go. What happened was all these guys in the 60s and 70s started wanting these 50s for whatever reason, Les Pauls. But they were mostly rock guys. Page, Beck, Gary Rossington, Gary Rich Rath. A lot of those guys. And there were other guys playing stuff like that. But, you know, like SGs and stuff. Tony Iommi and Angus Young. I can tell you, this guitar would have beat them all, I think. I am running through the Fractal Direct again. So, what are we going to do today? Let's do a couple things. And number one, someone else said something. I don't get why you hating on Tom. Listen again, so everybody that understands, Tom came on my channel after I stuck up for somebody that he was bullying, and then he doxed me. He also didn't answer any of my questions, and I just asked him questions. There's my 59, Tom. Come on the channel, and won't do it. Won't do it. Won't answer to it, even on Gus's channel. He don't want nothing to do with me. My guess is he made a few phone calls. They told him who I was. And now I get to 59, so he's got nothing to say. Another one of his claims up in smoke. Keep drinking it up, Tommy. Anyway, so beginners, you did fours out of G major. This week we're gonna do fives. You're like, yeah, I know those. Now you're gonna play them not chord wise. You're gonna play them differently. You're gonna play them like. Fives. Good sounding thing. You can create cool licks out of simple. There you go. Now, intermediate, advanced. I want you to start taking a chord like G. And I'm going to explain why I'm having you guys all do this. And I want you to start using your pinky to hit other notes. Out of one position. G major. G major. Excuse me. That's going to help you immensely with your fingers. And advanced guys, I want you to take a same idea but a different scale. But you're going to put more emphasis on your rhythm hand. A minor. And the reason why I want you guys to do this, it's called swag. And let me explain. I could use Tom as a reference. So people are like, why are you always bringing up Tom? Tom's a good guitar player, but he's a very boring guitar player. Just like Eric Johnson is for me. Eric Johnson's a great guitar player, but he's very boring. So who took Eric Johnson's licks and made him really good? Joe Bonamassa. Joe Bonamassa kills him at his own game. Problem with Les Pauls, they never stay in tune. And what I mean by this is also has swag in his playing. He has swag in his vocals. He has swag in his songwriting. Like a fire. Eddie Van Halen had it. George Lynch had it. Jimmy Page had it. He had it. He had a feel to him. He knew where to end, where to hit. It came from this hand. And I've said this before, even in the shredding. This hand dictates the speed of this. As fast as this hand can pick. That controls this hand. The faster this hand goes, the more you push this hand. That's how that works. But it also works with your rhythm playing. So you can play like Tom, but you can have flash in there. Swag. How many of you guys have gone and you've seen a band at your local bar and the guy's he's really good. He plays really good. He plays all his parts well, but he's boring to you. Especially the advanced guys, intermediate, advanced to the advanced guys. And then you get the guys just playing basic chords. He's got a swag and feel about his chords. There's a swag, a feel, a fire. I don't know how to explain it, but there's something to that way of playing. And I'm not talking about flash. And so you guys can see. I sweep pick a lot of my scales. Don't ask me how I started. To sing faster. That's how I get the speed. It was faster and I could dictate this hand more and make this hand even faster. Even if I do it clean. And then somebody had mentioned something about how sloppy I was. No. Very unrealistic comment. Might be out of tune a lot. But you have to remember, I bend really heavy and hard. I've been told I had that swag, but what I mean is like but not bad. But there you go. I want your right hand. I think this swag comes from rhythm playing. I really do. And if you see guitar players go, so I think it comes from that. And I don't know if you guys all saw the other video, but I explained where, like in the G major, where a flat 5 comes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It should be a natural part of our scale, and I don't know why it's not. Because if you look at the D major and G major, D, F sharp, A, F sharp. The fifth, the F sharp is the C sharp. Leads to that chord progression I was playing. To a D. Why? D, could play a G major. What would I solo in? Probably D major. Realistic. Or I might go in and out, D major and D major, and use this as a pentatonic in G major. Like I might use 3 different scales. There you go. There's your lesson for the week. Work on the 5s. Intermediate, advanced, of course. And then go to another position. Like these guys. Advanced. And emphasize different rhythms in your so like if you're going that's going to help this. It's going to help this. The rhythm part. Again, I'm running direct into the fractal. I think it sounds great. That's my opinion. See, even like double stops like that. Swag. So I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I hope that helps you guys out on some of the stuff on the 59. Again, there's a big dealer on that page. 45 years dealing. Said it was a great video and the sound was great even though we disagree about some stuff. I respect that because he's honest. I respect that. And he actually helped me, so I had to investigate my tuners. I remember asking for those tuners, but like all the hardware in it is all Alright, man. Hope you enjoyed the video. Peace.